Good day, my name is Albert Glover. I'm from Lateral Power Technologies, a sustainable energy company and specifically a solar energy company. Lateral Power Technologies helps companies to implement more cost-effective power systems. If you are looking for a way to reduce your company's power bill, this presentation will be for you. Today, I would like to discuss grid-tied solar systems and how it could help companies to significantly reduce their power bill and make the company more sustainable, cost-effective, and also to reduce their dependence on grid power. If you have any comments, please leave it in the comment section below. You can also contact me at 084 208 8024. Furthermore, if you need additional information or assistance, feel free to email me at albert.lbt@gmail.com. Thank you for watching. Grid-tied solar systems are used worldwide to reduce electricity costs of commercial, industrial, and agricultural companies, making them more profitable and less dependent on the grid supply. Now, what is a grid-tied solar system? A grid-tied solar system converts DC power from a solar array to grid-compatible AC power, and thereby reducing the amount of power that's coming from the grid. A grid-tied solar system typically consists of the following components: a number of solar panel arrays and a mounting structure to mount the panels on. A grid-tied DC to AC power inverter, some AC switchgear, and AC and DC cabling. Here is a typical example of an inverter and switchgear installation of a grid-tied solar system. This is one of the larger installations. It's a very effective way to install grid-tied solar systems is if you've got parking bays, or if you have got need for parking bays, is to place these in the solar panels on top of the parking bays. The cost of the panels is also comparatively the same as the cost of galvanized sheeting. So the price has come down quite a lot. Actually, it's come down exponentially over the past 10 years, past decade. Here's an example of a ground mount solar array system for a grid-tied system. Example of the inverter installation and the switchgear. What is the advantages of a grid-tied solar system? It offers a very good return on investment, typically 2 to 3 years. In 2 to 3 years, you'll get your capital back that you laid out back, which is unbelievable. It's got a usable life cycle of 20 to 30 years. You can look forward to generate power for free after the thing has been paid off, if you finance it, for 17 to 27 years. If financed, it's often cash flow positive from month one. So from month one, you'll pay less on a premium for your system if you finance it, say, typically over 5 years, than you would have paid for electricity that is saved by installing the grid-tied system. The cost of the components are comparable to building material cost. The technology is mature and reliable. Solar panels comes with a 20-year plus warranty. Finance is readily available at very competitive rates. And in South Africa, there's a once-off 125% tax deduction that can be claimed from your capital layout in year one, which results in the amount of capital that you lay out that come down by quite a bit. And it's worthwhile to consider this. Here is an example of an agricultural grid-tied solar system. Got ground mount solar panel structure. The disadvantages of a grid-tied solar system: firstly, it needs a grid reference. If the grid's not available, the system will disconnect itself. It has to, because it will feed power back into the grid, and if somebody's working on a grid, then they will be electrocuted. Furthermore, when the grid comes back, it will most probably be out of phase tight system power that's supplied, so it will be a problem. So when the grid is not available, the system disconnects itself. It only produces power when the sun is shining. It produces less power in the winter months. It cannot produce reactive power. The reactive power will still come from the grid. The reactive power is the power that's out of phase with the grid voltage. The reason that it cannot produce reactive power is because the power factor of a grid-tied inverter is always 1. The power it produces in phase with the voltage. It is not a grid-forming system. It needs a grid reference frequency. You cannot use a grid-tied system to form a grid. So if a grid falls away, it don't produce any power. It has now no battery storage, although battery storage, in most instances, depending on the inverters, can be added. So excess power cannot be stored, but it can be exported to the grid if that option is allowed by the authorities, but eventually it will be allowed everywhere. One of the questions that we get asked a lot is, how sure are you that the performance that you predict of your proposal is going to materialize, and how sure are you that your payback periods are realistic? And sure, these are very good questions to consider, very good questions to make sure that we're using information that you can rely on. My answer to this is that we use weather pattern data of the past 20 years, and there's programs available, commercial programs, that most companies that do solar systems subscribe to. These programs are accepted by the major banks and financial institutions to calculate power performance and payback periods of solar systems. And they are very accurate. They provide very good results, and it can be trusted. We also use geopositioning data and angles to work out the power production of the systems and the angle of the sun And all these factors get calculated in our predictions, and the end result can really be trusted. I am going to make another video shortly about the factors to consider when deciding on a possible contractor to provide a company with a solar system, and what information should a client make available and have available to be able to request a proposal from a solar installation company. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. If you have got any comments, please leave it in the comments below. And as I said before, you can contact me at 084-208-8024. If you need any additional information or assistance, or you can email me at albert.lpt@gmail.com. Thank you.